Hey everyone, welcome back to lizfenwickdiy. In today's video, we are doing another fall trash to treasure. The first project we're actually going to be doing is a piano bench, but if you don't have a piano, that's fine. You could use this same technique on a regular bench, you could do it on a stool, so many different things. I grabbed this piano bench for around $5 at a thrift store, which I thought was a great deal, but it was in pretty rough condition. So the first thing I did was tape off the little gold legs at the bottom because I wanted to keep those. Next, I came in with 2 coats of ink, which is just their black color by Waverly. And I did that all over the legs and the bottom half of the base of my piano bench. Once that had a chance to dry, I just removed the tape around the legs. Now for the top of my bench, I wanted to do something kind of fun and creative. So the idea I came up with was to use something with some music pages. So I went and found kind of a vintagey music book at my thrift store and I picked that up. And I'm just going to pull out the pages I want to use. I think I used around 12 for this project. Now these pages looked really white and pristine, so I needed to age them a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to tea stain the pages. So how I achieved that was I just boiled some water. I put 2 of the tea bags into the water. Next, I'm just going to use those tea bags kind of like a paintbrush, and I just painted them onto my pages. So underneath here, I had something that they could sit out and dry on. So make sure you have some kind of plastic or something that these can dry on where they don't stain other things. So I stained all of the pages. Some of them I made a little bit darker, some a little bit lighter, just so I had a little bit of variation. And I let these dry overnight. My next step was to Mod Podge these to my bench. So I did a layer of Mod Podge on the base of my bench, and then I started adding the papers down, making sure I got them as flat as possible because they do want to raise up on the edge, so just try to get it as flat as possible. And then this was the fun part, just kind of figuring out where I wanted the different pages to be. You could do any configuration that you wanted. And then I gave that a good, I would say probably 4 hours to dry before I came back in and put anything on top of it. You could always seal it with a layer of Mod Podge. I came in with a sealer that I have. Anything really would work here. And I just did a nice layer of sealer on the top of this. And here's a look at how my bench turned out. I know Annabelle is going to be so excited to have this new bench sitting at her piano. Her old bench was completely falling apart, so this is perfect for her. Okay, up until now, my favorite trash to treasure project was my blue clock. This next project is now my new favorite. I just love it. So we're gonna be making a planter. I guess you could do other things with it, but I think it's cute for a planter. So I was seeing at like TJ Maxx and like these different places, all these like really cute planters, and they would have these fun designs on them, but they'd be like $30 or $40, and I'm not paying that. So this next idea is my way of getting that more high-end look in your planter. So I picked up this little planter from the thrift store for 75 cents on half price day. And originally what I thought I was gonna do with it was make it a little base for like a tree during Christmas, but I had different plans for it. The first thing I did was add in 2 coats of that black ink color that I used for the piano bench. And I just did that on the bottom and then the top of my planter. Next, I picked up this scrapbook paper that had that fun geometric design, and I think that that is really important. You want kind of like either a geometric design or like maybe arrows or something that's just kind of consistent, gives you that little high-end look that the planters have now. So I measured it out to figure out how big my opening was, and then I just folded the paper over to make a nice clean line. I originally tried to measure it out and it wasn't working for me, so I just folded the paper in half and then I cut it off to give me 1 strip. I took that same paper, used it as my template, and cut out 2 more pieces of paper. So I ended up with 3 strips of paper. Next, I'm using Mod Podge, and I'm going to put it on one side of my planter. And then to start the paper, I'm putting it on the edge and I'm holding it down, and then I'll just crease it on the edge and Mod Podge the other side down as well. I ended up using all 3 pieces of paper around this planter. You want to make sure whatever's going to be your front that you don't have a crease in it. One of the sides will have a crease in it. You just want to make sure that your paper's consistent on the front side. Now, when I got done with this, I decided not to seal it because my paper looked perfect the way it was. But if you'd like to come in with a layer of Mod Podge over the top, you could do that too. Then just add one of your household plants. And how adorable is this as a planter? Please leave me a comment and let me know if you guys love this project as much as me, because I think this is so adorable. I just love it. I put it out on this bench to style it, and then I also have a picture of it in my hallway where it's sitting right now with some IKEA plants. In our piano room, I wanted to add a mirror because it's kind of like an empty wall and I need something there. So I have some different greens. I have that home sign in there with like a little wreath on it. I really wanted to do a green mirror. So I picked this mirror up at the thrift store for $5. It's just like a plasticky mirror, but I really thought it looked ornate and I thought it would be cute. So the first thing I did was come around and tape off the inside of the mirror with some painter's tape. Next, I'm going to be using the color Celery by Waverly, and I'm going to be doing 2 coats, pushing the paint into the little crevices and getting the paint on there. Now, before you come at me and say, Liz, why didn't you just spray paint this? It would be so much easier if you would have spray painted it. I know, but I could not find a green matte color that I loved as much as the Celery, so I just painted it. So sometimes if you can't find the right color, you just have to use what you have. So I did 2 coats. It wasn't that bad, but if you have a color in spray paint, it's a lot easier if you spray paint it. Once that completely dried, I came back in with just some white Waverly paint and I just brushed that over the whole top of this because there's so much nice detail that you need something to really pull it out. So adding an additional color will help to pull that out. So if you had a base color, you could always do this with like a black, or you could do brown, you know, whatever it is, you want to pull that detail back out in your piece. So in mine, I added the white. Next, I just removed the tape. And I think this piece looks adorable hanging on my wall. Okay, are you a crafter and you have a lot of projects that you want to share? You need to be a member of our Facebook group. My group is called Liz Fenwick DIY Group, and as of today, I think we have about 35,000 members. Just go over to Facebook and in the search box, search for our group, and you will find us, request to join. Make sure you answer the questions, because if you don't answer the questions, I don't let you join. But so many of us are over there posting our projects, anything that we're working on. I think it's a great place for getting new ideas, so make sure you join us over there. If you like seeing all my behind the scenes stuff, you want to go follow me on Instagram, because I'm all the time posting what I got going on every day. So follow me on Instagram, just go to Liz Fenwick DIY and you'll find me over there. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss out on anything. And I'll link our last video here, and I'll talk to you guys in our next video. Bye.